Yeah, like a bee.
Like a bee.
And then I'm using it. I'm sure that in many of my plays, there's something coming from other playwrights. From Bertolt Brecht, for instance.
There is one scene in your play where the beautiful actress Sonia is talking to the main character and say, why didn't you put me on the scene? She was mad because the filmmaker had eliminated her in her part. So, and he says, well, what would you want to do in a movie? And he says, well, I can be Jacqueline Kennedy. I can play.
There's a list of ideas.
Maria Callas. I can do anything that you ask me for. And then the main character was not interested in hearing all these names, and she says, "Well, I can be myself if you like. I can be." And that it was at that point that the main character wakes up and say, "That's a great idea." And in fact, that's what eventually we will see even in the movie, where the movie maker actually takes from the women that he knows and makes into a new creative.
And by the way, I mean, during the rehearsals in Connecticut, the play that Kate Hepburn loved, there is a moment in which I say, "You lovely Casanova," and he says, "Oh my God, Casanova! I'm going to Venice to shoot a film." So he got the idea from the woman.
The woman,
From the woman. So you always get from actresses, from friends, from directors. There is always some kind of collaboration.
Of course. You have to be the artist when an idea comes. Many times we all, as human beings, do get ideas. It's just that we don't put them into action. We say, oh, that's a great idea, but we don't do it. An artist has to be ready, has to receive it, has to be able to put it into writing.
To shape it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Shape it up. I have an idea. I have a booklet with many ideas, but I don't use them unless I shape it up and I give them a great ending. I'm very, very happy with the ending. Just a book in my mind, a book of that.
That's a lesson you got from Arthur Miller.
Exactly. 28 unpredictable plays. A play must be stimulating, must be polemic, and must be unpredictable.
In your play, there are two male characters, which are not in the musical, or the film. William, and obviously your play plays around the stealing. In order to be creative, you have to take idea from other people. And William criticizes the main character, say, "This guy steals all the time." And then the smart thing about it is that eventually they both use women. The women. And then the women get together and they penalize the men.
Well, that was my original idea in the play, which works. Even in India, they love it, Okay, that's my basic idea, all right? But William is the symbol of those two great writers I mentioned, Tullio Pinelli and Ennio Flaiani.
I saw it instead, William, as an alter ego of the main character.
They were, for me, they were the two writers. They complain, and sometimes they got as women.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, exactly.
Everywhere he goes. Well, that's why I thought that was an alter ego, because every time he went with women, the guy was there.
Well, because the people were tired of being betrayed, and they went to the intellectual.
William disappeared in the movie.
We decided with Maury Heston we didn't need him. We didn't need him in the musical.
But you created the boy.
Yes.
There was no mother in the play.
Now, Coppitt came, the last 4 weeks, and he brought a very interesting scene, the scene with the mother who comes from heaven. So the scene with the mother who comes from heaven and talks to the son is completely Arthur Coppitt. It was his idea. So the idea of the mother is there. Before it was pale, it was there. Then it becomes bigger in the scene, the heaven scene. And of course, the director, Rob Marshall, loved the idea of asking Sophia Loren.
Of course, of course. The mother image in the play was there, in your play is there, for
Yes.
example, the friend and confidant, that she is a figure, mother figure, because anytime he's in trouble.
Good friend, yes.
Yeah, he runs to him. And, well, the idea of the creativity and also having trouble creating, it happens in the movie very lovely. I mean, that's really skillful.
Good.
Doing.
Rob Marshall did a good job.
The main character is in trouble, doesn't know what to do, and he talks around to people. And when he sees the wife, for example, the wife is a very modest person, in a sense, not very, but modest person, loves him, and so defends him some of the times. But he sees the wife as that bold woman who goes to the cabaret and starts singing.
That's absolutely Rob Marshall. It wasn't in me.
All,
it was not in me, absolutely. But now...
But that's the dream of the artist who begins to, while he's afflicted by impotence at the moment, artistic impotence, simply because he sees people, gets the idea, and we see in the movie what the woman transforms itself into. For example, Penelope
becomes,
she's a lover, yes, but not that much. He makes it in such a valuable,
splashing and incredible.
Yeah.
But this is very interesting. In my musical, I put a scene in which there was a picnic with olives and white wine. I put it there. That's called red herring, okay? Which nobody says, what is it, a picnic? But a picnic is very important in Act 2. Because when Fellini steals the idea of the picnic, the wife is furious. And it's a turning point that lives. Now, Rob Marshall did something similar with a completely different idea. And his idea was brilliant. I love it, you know. He changed the hair of his wife when he was asking, he was auditioning her. He changed the hair. Then when he's hiring another actress, he goes to her and he changes her hair. It's exactly the same idea of the picnic.
And she notices it at the end.
And that's it. That's the moment, the turning point. For me is the picnic, and for him is the changing the shape of the hair. So creativity is a fascinating thing, okay? Yeah, and everything, he created a parallel which is brilliant.
Which is brilliant. And still the creativity is that he doesn't really, in the movie, doesn't really steal anything. He gets the idea from
people,
and he imitates or whatever. At the end, he comes up with the movies. Now, in your play, it is not the main character who comes up with the movie. The women. So there's a fundamental change
in
there.
my play. The woman is singing. And she says, "Oh, you brilliant Casanova, you will always be." And he says, "Oh my God, Casanova? Yes, thank you very much for the idea. I'm going to Venice."
Okay.
So it's always the woman who gives you something.
But who makes the film in the play? Are the women. The women get together and say, "We're going to penalize."
Oh no, that was the original. In my original, done in India, in Japan, the women take the revenge by shooting a film about him. That disappeared from the musical.
But I don't see it as a disappearance totally, because in the film, we see the film. In effect, what we are seeing is what these women did, because they wanted to present the lives of Guido. And when we go to the movies, we see Guido and his troublesome times. In a sense, it is the aftermath of the film made by the women, and now we actually see it. It could be a sequence.
Maybe, you know, I mean, they read my play, maybe they got some ideas from my play, and maybe they got something from there. But in my play, the Italian play, which became the English play after the adaptation, it's very clear that the women take a revenge.
Right.
In this film and in the musical, there's no revenge.
There's no revenge. There's no revenge. Yeah. The astuteness, the brilliance of women controlling, being able to turn around and controlling the man disappears.
There was only in the Italian version and the English version of the play.
I see. Talk about creativity now. Obviously, creativity and stereotyping they're close.